Hey Spuddies, Potato Whiskey here, and welcome to the conquest of the galaxy in Gal Civ 4 as the Korath clan entering into the final phase of conquest. We've managed to fully conquer this sector. We are beginning the conquest of this sector, and we're going to start sending fleets over to here and to here now. I think that's going to be the main focus here. We're going to be not really paying attention to much except for the warfare. Like, I'm not going to be telling you how I'm managing my planet. Honestly, at this point, maybe I should automate this world. Nah, you know what? I get a bit of satisfaction from like manually doing things, so this is fine. Let's go for the precursor studies here. We really want the precursor study center so that we can get extra ascension, because that should get us the prestige we need to actually win the game. There's precursor study center, so we can start getting more ascension crystals. I'm gonna grab trade networks, not because I want trade, but because it would be good to be able to upgrade my markets and get that gross income. There are a couple of planets that probably could justifiably be turned into trade worlds. Let's take the secret police cultural policy. That should lower unrest on our worlds. So every turn that goes by now, there are a lot of battles in every single turn, so I'm kind of skipping over a lot of them. There's a lot of pop-ups in general. I'm going to pick up the slipstream drive. That'll give me +1 move on my fleets, and +1 move does make the galaxy just that little bit smaller. Man, the sheer number of changes I have to make to planets when I take them over just to get them up and running at a reasonable level for military production. I gotta rebuild the starports. I gotta rebuild basically the whole damn thing, and I gotta go through and train everybody as workers. Like, there's a lot of micromanagement in an empire like this. And then I gotta make sure I build 2 colony ships, or at least as many colony ships as there are wrong population types. Like, I don't need these Luxars, so a couple colony ships, get them off world, put them somewhere else, just hide them off somewhere. It's a process, man. And then I gotta move like things like the colonial clinic to the right place so that the world can actually grow at a reasonable pace, yada yada yada. Alright, another world has been viral bombed into oblivion. It's only a class 15, but as we blast around, it should be pretty quick. Probably should be building more of those guys that do the thing. The invaders. Man, this game has definitely ground to a halt. Like, I've been playing about an hour and I haven't even gone up 1% on the victory track, which is kind of crazy. That's a little nuts considering I've just been doing nothing but like stomping across the map in like fury. So the last time we designed a scope, it was with the subspace sensor. So we're going to edit this design. Now this is a cruiser hull ship, and the last design was the subspace sensor. So we can actually double it, quadruple it. We can replace for the same amount of vision, we can have a lot less of these. It is quite a bit more expensive. So if I take out 1, 2, 3, 4, and I put a Titanic eye sensor in here, and then I remove the rest, and I put another Titanic eye sensor in here, I can have essentially a ship that reveals 28 tiles, but I can continue to invest. Like, if I wanted to, I could have a ship that literally reveals in 100 sensor range. I think that probably isn't how that should work, but I'm not going to make such an insane and expensive ship. I think it would be more efficient. Actually, I think it is more efficient to just make like a giga AoE scout ship. Oh, I guess I have to put a weapon on it so that it still counts as like a ship of capable fighting. So this is the M1 scope, which has a vision range of 88, which means it costs about 3 times as much, but reveals, I don't even know, like orders of magnitude more space. I'm going to start building like 5 of those from New Iconia so that I can just reveal the galaxy, because knowledge is power. Can we cancel this siege and just drop an intruder on Reaxis 2 and just wipe it? Yeah, I guess that works better. Boom. There is something really satisfying about like working your way through the enemy's entire civilization, planet by planet, going one step at a time to completely obliterate them. I love seeing this, right? I have this absolutely gargantuan fleet going up against a huge number of enemy ships, and I'm gonna obliterate them because I just have better tech, I have better fleet logistics, I have better doctrine. It's a beautiful thing. Let's invade what I assume is the Altarian homeworld, Andromeda 2. I have intruders in the space so we can one-tap this planet. Now, it might not be their capital, but it did have a decent amount of influence on it as far as I can tell. And it probably will do as a great forward operating space. I think I'm going to go ahead and executive order to invite new leaders. Let's see if we can hire some people with some good stats. I got a bunch of people sitting around doing nothing. Oh, you got nice stats? You got okay stats. Bad social. I can hire you too. I'll take the little bit of extra ship HP. 5% ain't much, but it does help. We are starting to, get better missiles and stuff like that. We're invading another planet. Now, we're invading the minor worlds as well. We should probably technically siege these down, but I don't care because I'm going to use Andromeda as my invader resupply base. I'm going to pump cash into. I have a plan here to speed up the rate at which I can win the game. I'm going to put a general with good stats like Roscoe here. He's got good loyalty, right? And that's important. Now, this is a fantastic manufacturing world. We're going to train him as a worker. We're going to build a shipyard. We will be retooling this directly in the direction of like producing production. Not going to be doing anything research related. Will be getting deleted. We'll be moving some stuff around to make this work. It'll be a process, and then we're just going to pump out invader ships from here, hopefully growing the planet quickly. So there's a little bit of work we have to do to get that up and running. Oh yeah, this is why you want to have these high vision ships, because look at what I can see. The second I pop through here, I can see star bases I can take out. I see ascension crystals I can start claiming. Now there's quite a few things that we need to actually get going here in Andromeda 2 so that we can use this as a base to spring forth from and conquer the rest of this sector. Also, I don't understand why my prestige hasn't gone up when I'm conquering more and more of the galaxy. I don't fully understand the victory condition stuff. Oh, I'm pretty close to a conquest victory. I wonder, can I force the surrender of some of these civs? Like if I were to talk to these guys, oh, the galaxy is locked in war, there's nothing I can do. Well, hey, you saw, I tried peace. I tried to speak to them. I tried to use my words like a big boy and nothing happened. I'm selling off quite a bit of my resources, just down to about 20 or so, just because I have actually so many. My income is really, really good right now. Not thulium though. Thulium I should honestly be buying. But like, do I really need this much Aurora's Arboretum? Like seriously? Harmony crystals I can understand buying. But what I can do with this cash is speed up some of these constructions to get these planets up and running a little, just that little bit quicker, right? So let's get that medical center down here. It'll give +2 levels to this core world, which should give us population cap. I will be putting that at the front of the queue. And then I want to do the same thing with the colonial clinic, because that'll be another +2 population cap. I am going to put the governor manor here for now, purely just for the loyalty there. This shipyard needs to produce a colony ship to get rid of the wrong type of population on it. Beyond that, we're fine. Oh man, Grave is doing work. Let's build a new ship. We're going to put a targeting computer on here. That will give us a 5% accuracy boost, which when combined with a pair of pulse cannons and a pair of Avenger rockets should give us significantly decent DPS, and then we might be able to squeak in something like a shield generator there so that we're strong against lasers. And then I think this is like a pretty cool ship. Although then again, I could also just build the most advanced version of ships with like maxed out DPS, so like this thing just has a bajillion damage. Although I do think it's worth it to put like a single rocket on these things, because then you benefit from tech, so you just get that little bit of damage. But nah, it's probably not worth it. I think you're better off just going straight for your 2 bests. This is going to be my super advanced ship that does a lot of damage. This will be the Guard M0, as in the Imperial Guard. And we will be queuing up 5 of those, setting that juicy rally point to the fleet mustering. I'm probably going to move the fleet mustering now to somewhere slightly more central. So I built the artillery ship, which was a cruiser with 5 Helios rockets, giving it 10 base missile attack +1 from techs. And then I upgraded it to the artillery M1, which now has 4 Avenger missiles for 12 base damage. But on top of that, I got myself a targeting computer for an extra 5% accuracy. Is this the right thing to do? I don't know, but it felt fun to do. Now this is starting to look like it has potential. I've just basically ripped down anything in here that does not give manufacturing. Wealth input from this tourism thing doesn't seem so bad, but we are trying to optimize for manufacturing. Now, in your shipyard, what we definitely need is a couple of constructors. In fact, I think we need 3. 1 to get me some influence, 1 to get me a military thing, and 1 to economically boost Andromeda. So I think the combination of all 3 of those will put me in a really good position. That'll just take 3 turns to do. The Onyx Hive has been destroyed, so another player has been taken out of the game. We're getting a hold of a Ascension Crystal. I may as well build a, I don't know, cultural thingy. Why not? I think this might actually be my first Ascension Crystal, and hopefully that gets me Ascension score. I don't want to say that I'm at my wit's end, but I am definitely starting to run out of wit. Okay, first things first, let's get that communication starbase up here so we can get just basically anything that gives influence growth, which means everything. I need Illyrium. So influence growth here is +4 base to colonies and a 60% boost. It's also generating 20 itself, and its natural influence radius should grow quickly to fight back. You will now get a huge influence boost. I could trade these guys as workers or entertainers if I wanted to push back, but I don't need to push back. I just need a little bit. Well, do I need to push back? Maybe I do. No, we can make this work as long as we're training enough stuff. I've been trying to make missiles work. And so let me tell you about the journey that I've gone on here. I started off, and I started off with these Helios rockets, right? They do two damage, and there's 5 of them on this ship. I was like, okay, that seems probably like a reasonable design, right? They're going to fire off 5 of them, half of them are going to hit, and they'll do so much damage. And then I was thinking, you know what? What if when I upgraded the weapon, okay, I went to a higher tech weapon, and I dropped one of the weapons for a targeting computer for a 10% increase in accuracy, right? So this would counter some of my enemy's evasion. And I was like, that actually seems like a pretty clever move, right? My enemy's evasion, you know. I essentially get rid of a defensive module on the enemy ships. And then I was thinking, what if it's like, you know, antimatter cost, it's cheaper. I could fit a second targeting computer on there. And now we're starting like 12 damage plus a little bit from tech and, you know, 60% accuracy. That's 20% increase accuracy chance. And then I thought, you know what would even be better? If I just didn't give a damn about my accuracy, and instead if I put shields and armor on these guys instead of the targeting computer, because I should in theory have better rockets. So if I go up against rockets, I should win out over time. But if I go up against shields like lasers and kinetics, I'll need armor and shielding to survive against those as I missile them down with my high-tech missiles. So this is kind of like the artillery ship that I've moved towards. And the reason I'm just experimenting really at this point in the game, because I'm so far ahead from like any production standpoint. I'm wondering if I position my constructor correctly, I might be able to grab both of these with a single constructor. Yeah, I'm so far ahead because like the radius I can achieve is kind of insane on my military starbases. But yeah, I want to see how do missile ships perform as time goes on. Oh my god, finally the needle moved after nearly an hour and a half, maybe an hour and 45 minutes of playing. I have gone up 1%. Jesus. All right, let's see if we can do it. Oh, you have to be in range of one of them to make a mining base. I don't know if we can do it. We'll try. Oh, it's tantalizingly just out of range. Look at that. That's annoying. Nice. Our missile tech is now starting to get absurd. With +1 missile attack, we've got 10% missile damage. You know what I want to do? I want to take a look at not the tech library. So I want to have a look at the tech navigator. I want to see what do I need to do to get bigger ships. Let me see here. So I need to go for starship refits, adaptive starship panels, efficient mass use techniques, which will give me capacity increases. And then I can get the battleships. Orbital repair gets us logistics, 10% hit points here. I mean, it'd be cool to get all these things. Oh, we can make our way towards dreadnoughts and the tyrant carrier. Holy crap, what is that? All right, I want to find out what's going on there. So let's start on the starship refits. Mission accomplished. We have a level 12 starport here, which is netting us over 100% production multiplication. We are going to continue to focus on manufacturing in here. We have a little bit of recreational that's keeping our appeal or our happiness just high enough to where we're getting the maximum boost out of this. We could, in theory, opt to go for research, but again, I think my faction, specifically the way that I am playing them, is really geared towards production and that sort of way of playing. Although this planet specifically is good at influence. I mean, it's cool that we have 2 technological capitals here, like that's fun, but I think I am going to strip them out, as awesome as they are, giving me a huge amount of tech. Honestly though, wait, is that what I want to do? Yeah, no, we are. We're going to destroy them and we're going to dump manufacturing in here. So if I think I build a mining base right here and I give it the extra range, it should be able to hit all 3 Durantium. Have I already tested this and it didn't work? Am I just being stupid? I might be being stupid. It should work, in my opinion. I think I did already test it and I confirmed that it does not work that way. I think I'd like to see them rework the starbase system. I think that is the thing I would love for them to like dedicate an expansion and just call it like megastructures and just genuinely take the whole like starbase construction system. I know it's a classic thing and just rework it. I think it needs to happen because the current whole build a constructor and position it thing, like positioning means nothing in space, right? It's all about just like, oh, can I find like the circle that overlaps the thing? It should be maybe you build star bases around a star. Like maybe I need to have like something to anchor, like I need to build it around this planet or around this planet, and maybe it has a special effect, right? I think they just, the starbase system is very fiddly, and I would like them to really sit down, really sit down and just bottom to the top, pop it and lock it. No, just rework it. Because also like going through and manually upgrading every single starbase with modules is like, that's a whole thing in of itself. You know, it's just like look at this list of starbases. It's unmanageable at this point. It's a lot of micromanagement, and I think this is just one of those games where it needs less of that. It needs less micromanagement. So you need to take that out of the hands of the player a little bit. I think one of the ways you could do that is to make starbases as rarer and more impactful and give them way more upgrades, or give them limited slots of some kind, or increase the diversity of types of starbases starbases, but you can't place them everywhere. So like you can have a lot of them, but their types are now way more limited, and give them more interesting effects. Change, you know, exactly how they work. I think there's a lot of ways you could do to make them a lot more interesting to experience. But I definitely feel like the current iteration of how starbases work, it's just kind of, it's this way because it's always been this way. And I really do think the planetary management system is in a fantastic place. But man, that starbase system though, I feel like Galactic Civilizations is a game with so much potential, and I would love to see it actually get realized through the reworking and careful changing of some of the key systems that I feel like are still holding back the design team. And you know, part of the problem might be just the feedback they're getting is really bad. And this is a thing that can happen like with like really old franchises, is the people who give feedback about the game are the people who are really passionate, and often the most passionate people about your franchise really don't want things to change. Like super hardcore change is bad. And here's the thing, sometimes change is okay. Sometimes change is good. Change is just change. Things change. That is just what happens. To be honest with you, I would love to see some things change in this. What specifically I'd like to see change? That's a little bit harder. I think there's a lot of really cool things that like come from the history of this game. Like the general vibe I think is awesome. I might sit down and meditate and come up with like a wish list of things I'd like to see changed. Maybe give the developers a little bit of feedback. They could probably use that feedback. I've decided to take on the Penultipox as well. So I need to build a plague research center. I'm gonna just build that on my capital because I can build it real quick. And it'll also, I guess, get me like a small boost to tech, which is kind of cool. Let's also level up some of these leftover districts. Geode is under siege. There's 8 months remaining. The Luxar are invading. Let me see if I can find a fleet here to go deal with that. New Iconia is looking pretty good too. Insane amount of production pumping out here, which was the goal. Tech is really just like a passive afterthought for my empire. It's something we get as a consequence of everything else that we do. You know what? Screw it. I have so many planets. Let's turn this into an influence world. I don't even care anymore. So let's set it up. All right, nice. We survived the Penultipox. We got ourselves a little bit more prestige. So the Ever War is another 23 turns. Against the Tide is another 10. The Orbit Dragonol, I don't even know what to do there. I still haven't built the Grand Menagerie. We'll figure that out someday. I think I'd like to see the result when I quick battle. It's kind of annoying that I don't. And that just, if I press quick battle, like it just calculates it and then it doesn't show me. Just because I press quick battle doesn't mean I don't want to see like the outcome of the battle. Like I want to know. I'm curious. I want to know if I lost any ships or anything. You know what I'm saying? I like the planetary management stuff. This is really fun. I like this, going in here and being like, oh, I want to build this thing here. Oh, what's this, a planetary mainframe? Did anyone ask for this? Maybe they did, maybe they didn't. Who knows? Oh, this is huge. We found their capital world. With the correct positioning and the correct fleets, we should be able to take out probably their biggest source of influence in the galaxy right now. Yeah, natural influence radius of 79. We could capture 18,000 influence points in a single fell swoop. I wish I knew, like, why am I not getting more points for, like, faction power, or economic power, or military power, or population, or influence? Right, like, these are things I just don't get. I don't understand. Like, I'm big on the research. I'm not getting much research rate. And now I don't even remember where the victory thing is. The Archean Republic have been killed. I did that. Oops. Yeah, they're super dead. Let's put a governor in charge of Archaea and start building this up to be a manufacturing world, particularly for invasion. This is something I probably should have been doing earlier in the game, but I've learned as I played. So now we can refit ships, which should put us a step towards, adaptive starship panels, and then we'll get capacity upgrades. All right, retrofitting another planet on the front line. Problem is we need a shipyard in here, but I reckon we can fit a pretty nice thingy in here. Oh, actually, if we look at these pops, well, I guess they do have good diligence, and I have to make them a little bit happier. Although technically this could have been a better science world. I don't need the science, that's the thing. I just need to produce more military. Where's my capital? Capital, I want you to be moved over to here. Naturally, I want my medical center, my colonial clinic beside you. Quite a bit of work to be done in here. At least a couple entertainment complexes over here. Possibly even put this holo theater there as well. We're cooking in here, I think. First things first, let's make sure we get all the manufacturing. How do you guys feel about pollution? They'll live with it. Oh, I never put down a fusion power plant. Well, tell me what, let me get rid of this. Put down the fusion power. So first things first is to get the manufacturing and the approval up. I'll start switching some of these guys to entertainers, see if that helps. It does. A little bit of approval makes a difference, but only up to a point. There's a sort of break-even point where happiness kind of tapers off versus more productivity. So there's, It's a thing. It's a thing. So let's prioritize happiness first, because that's your big modifier. Take a little bit of time, but this planet will be up and running as a manufacturing center for us very, very quickly. It'll get quicker as it produces production. It will produce production faster, which is part of the problem I have with production as a resource in these kind of games. Is that like, interesting. So you did pick up that durantium. All right, I don't even know what to say about that. Yeah, like production as a resource, like it produces more production, which makes it. It's like, what? Science doesn't produce more science. That's kind of like the problem with production, you know, is that it's too good, production is, because production lets you do anything. It's the best yield in almost any game. God, I have just created the most bleak worlds imaginable. Like, it's the never-ending brawl of factories as far as the eye can see. What a horrifying existence that I've condemned these people to. May God have mercy on their souls. Yeah, I woke up and chose violence today. Basically, all of these planets are getting completely, like, deleted and rebuilt. I will finish this game. Good God, the punishment. You have no idea how deep the mines go. They never end. The mines have claimed my sanity. There is scarce little left. Ooh, finally, a planet we can turn into a science world. Hey, train these up the scientists. Train them up the scientists. Alrighty, so if I train up all of my citizens on this planet as scientists, we can trade about 100 production for about 50 science. I mean, it's not great, but it's not terrible. Maybe there's other things we can do on Reaxis, like what if we deleted the recruiting station, replaced with an orbital research lab? Boom. Oh, that added a little. We don't need the defense matrix. Ooh, and we could modify Andoria to give it a space elevator and a orbital research lab. Huh? Yeah, 54. Did it only go up to 54? Was that it? Yay. The entire planet is dedicated to science, and it's pulling in a little. Now here's a question. What if I get up real close to these guys? I fire a missile volley first. 0 to 4 damage. Wow. And then if I quick battle, what happens? Damn. Artillery ships just ain't that good. All right, we've taken Cordelia. We can clean up these later, but we have a couple of intruders here, so I'm going to go straight for those core worlds. Now I'm curious, if I press G here, how tightly packed can I make an array? They can't be within 3 tiles of each other. What if I put one here? Let's just place one. Build an economic starbase. Costs a lot of durantium to do this. Good news is I'm not broke and I make a lot of durantium. Interstellar collectors. God damn. Right, we're working on it. Okay, durantium is like the resource for this. So now this thing is giving me 7% research, 23% manufacturing, a little bit of influence. Cool. Why are you guys mad? I don't understand. I let you have your own capital world. Like, this is your planet. Why are you angry? Alrighty. So this is another planet that I had been working on. La Superba. Ooh, I could build a durantium processor here. Durantium is precious. I would like to put it there, so I will. The Governor Manor can probably just go just about anywhere. Yeah, that's fine. Oh, we should totally put the Holo Theater there. We should planetary convert this, habitat improve this. Goal is for production, so train everyone as a worker. We don't need the science. It's not, I mean, it is a good science world, but you know, I'm building an industrial empire to stand the test of time here. Oh yeah, Andromeda 2. Look at that manufacturing on 2 pop. Oh yeah, look at that crammed out 129% manufacturing from districts. Now that is just tasty. Why is the influence so high? Oh, because I built a bajillion influence star bases. There's kind of an interesting idea there in my brain, just like rolling around inside my mind is just the desire to coat a thing in influence. I'm curious what would happen. So Altice has fallen. Let's take the core world now. They're going to take extreme casualties. They have assault fighters with kinetic weapons. I think my fleet is literally built to counter this. Yeah, I have hull plating and beam attacks. There's just like, there's nothing they can do here. Boom. This is a dreadnought. Oh my God, no wonder it's so hard to take out. I've had to fight it like 3 times. I mean, it's big, but it is going to die eventually. And then we just one turn. Wow, it is still going. I'm so curious what's happening in this battle. Is it like repairing? So what? It can escape battles. What if can it escape laser attacks? No, apparently not. It took a huge amount of damage there. Well, we'll continue to try to laser that thing down. So somehow they got a garrison in here, which is annoying, but to be expected from the AI. But we can now one turn invade it thanks to the use of the intruder spore bombarders. I love those ships. It's probably the best part of playing the core. I would like to know. I don't care about this battle. I want to click on the ships. Dude, New Iconia is producing 430, like that's ridiculous. I have built the ultimate all-arounder ship. I'm screwing around at this point. All right, we got ourselves an enhanced pulse cannon, a Mat-at-Drox missile with an enhanced particle cannon, a shield generator, a hull plating, a weapon jammer, a slipstream drive for +4 moves. Oh, you know what? Do we even need that? What if we put on a targeting computer here instead? Make these weapons more accurate. You know what? I like that. Yeah. I'm gonna call you the pointless. Oh, pointless. There you are. Let's start making some of those. This goddamn dreadnought getting on my nerves a little. All right, we managed to succeed in Against the Tide. We got +5 intimidation, a culture point, 70 prestige, and 25% military. All right, let's do it. That puts us a step closer. So where are the Dreadlords? I just called the Dreadlords, but I don't know where they are. Said they come from the edge of space. Wait, why am I at peace? I'm so deep into this playthrough. The fact that I own 3 of the bubbles, this is just a cleanup operation. I think what they need is like, I'm at 99, I'm at 90% conquest victory. Do I really have to kill all 10 remaining? I feel like I should just have to gain control of like 50% of the core worlds of the galaxy. You know what I mean? Maybe it should be like a conquest victory. Ooh. Here's how they rework the conquest victory, okay? You guys ready? Are you guys fucking ready? Here you go, okay? Okay, so, conquest victory. You need to fulfill... Oh shit, you could tie this into the challenge system too? Hold on, I need to like get my brain together here. All right, listen up. Developers, what if you need to have 50% of the core worlds, 50% of the influence in the galaxy, and have a military that is stronger than all other players remaining combined. Something like that. Maybe you own 50% of the worlds, and you have a stronger military than however many people, right? Whatever. Figure it out. This triggers the domination victory. Then there is the total domination victory for people who like that. And what happens is, once you're at that 50% point, this triggers a galactic crisis, and all of the remaining civilizations see you as like an existential galactic threat, okay? And here's a really cool idea. They form like a galactic giga alliance because you have just become so powerful and so dangerous that they start to share tech completely with each other. They start to share ships. They start to defend each other. They start trying to fight back like in Star Control, right? The Urquan map. Like this is like they start sending hero ships at you. And now you're this gigantic empire trying to like take these guys out. But give the player an event. And here's the really fun idea where they can say, we must crush the galaxy, and they continue to play and they try to crush the galaxy. Or you can create a splinter faction where you get to pick to play as the Giga Alliance. So now this gigantic, massive empire that you've just built, now you switch, you take over the rest of the planets in the galaxy in like the Galactic Federation of Self-Conglomerate Defense or whatever. And now you have to take out this massive empire you just built to try to restore galactic order and potential. I don't know. It's a cool idea. I think it'd be sick. I think it'd be really sick. I think you guys should try it out. But I think I am mentally no more GalCiv today. Super fun game though, and lots of potential. I'm going to experiment with some things with GalCiv before we play it again. I want to thank you guys very much for watching. I love you all very much, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.